Lord, here I am tonight, a wife carrying more weight than my shoulders were meant to bear, feeling the pressure of being everything to everyone while somehow losing myself in the process. The house is finally quiet, my husband is asleep beside me, but my mind races with tomorrow's responsibilities, yesterday's failures, and today's unfinished tasks that mock me in the darkness. You see me tossing and turning, checking the clock again, calculating how many hours of sleep I might get if I could just quiet these anxious thoughts. My heart pounds with worries about our marriage, our finances, our children, our future, and I wonder if other wives feel this crushing weight or if I'm alone in this struggle. You know how I smile through the day, how I hold it all together for everyone else, but here in the darkness, the mask falls away and I'm just scared. The anxiety whispers that I'm not enough, not a good enough wife, not patient enough with the kids, not organized enough to manage this household, not strong enough to carry these burdens. Tonight, Lord, I need you to meet me in this vulnerable place where pretense falls away and only truth remains. I need your peace to flood this anxious heart that beats too fast with worry. My mind replays every sharp word I spoke today, every moment I lost my patience, every time I chose efficiency over connection with my family. The guilt mingles with anxiety, creating a toxic cocktail that steals my rest and robs my peace, leaving me exhausted before tomorrow even begins. I think about my husband lying here, probably unaware of the storm raging inside me, and I feel so alone in this battle against anxiety that threatens to consume me. You know how I long to be the Proverbs 31 wife, but most days I feel more like Martha, anxious and troubled about many things, missing the better portion while drowning in duties. The weight of managing schedules, meals, homework, appointments, bills, and emotions feels impossible, and I'm crumbling under expectations I can't meet. Lord, you see how I've been running on empty, pouring from a cup that dried up long ago, trying to give what I don't have to people I love more than life itself. These anxious thoughts about tomorrow steal today's joy, and I'm tired of anxiety being my constant companion, my unwelcome shadow that follows me from room to room. I need you to remind me that I wasn't created to carry the world on my shoulders, that it's okay to admit I'm struggling, that asking for help isn't weakness but wisdom. Sometimes I wonder if my husband understands the mental load I carry, the invisible work of remembering everyone's everything while forgetting to care for myself. The anxiety builds when I think about all the ways I might be failing. Am I loving enough, present enough, spiritual enough, attractive enough, supportive enough? These questions circle like vultures in my mind, picking apart my confidence and leaving me feeling exposed and inadequate in every role I play. Lord, you know how I lie here making mental lists of tomorrow's tasks, each item adding another pound to the weight on my chest. The anxiety about our marriage haunts me. Are we growing apart? Are we just roommates managing a household? Have we lost the spark that once made us inseparable? I see other couples on social media and wonder if their marriages are really that perfect or if they're hiding their struggles like I hide mine. The fear of not being the wife my husband needs, of disappointing him, of our love story becoming another casualty of busy life, it all crashes over me in waves. Tonight, I'm drowning in these anxious thoughts, gasping for air, reaching for your hand to pull me to safety. I need you to speak peace over our marriage, to remind me that love isn't measured in perfect performances but in faithful presence, messy and real. The financial anxieties keep me awake too, Lord. The bills that seem to multiply, the unexpected expenses that derail our budget, the pressure to make ends meet while trying to give our children everything they need. I calculate and recalculate in my head, trying to make the numbers work, feeling the weight of being a good steward of what you've provided while battling the fear of not having enough. Every time I check our bank account, anxiety rises like bile in my throat, and I wonder if other wives feel the same financial pressure or if we're alone in this struggle. You see how I clip coupons and compare prices, how I sacrifice my needs to ensure my family has theirs, how I carry the mental burden of stretching every dollar. The anxiety whispers that I should be contributing more financially, that staying home with kids is a luxury we can't afford, that I'm not pulling my weight economically. But then it also whispers that working would make me a bad mother, that I can't win no matter what I choose, that I'm trapped between impossible expectations. Lord, calm these financial fears that steal my sleep and cloud my judgment with worry about provision. Remind me that you own the cattle on 1,000 hills, that you care about our needs, that anxiety about money won't add a single dollar to our account but will steal precious peace from my heart. My children, Lord, oh, how they trigger both my deepest love and my greatest anxieties, keeping me awake with worries about their futures, their hearts, their choices. Am I raising them right? Am I too strict or too lenient? Am I preparing them for a world that seems increasingly hostile to the values we're trying to instill? The anxiety about their education, their friendships, their faith journey, their safety. It all swirls together in a tornado of maternal fear that threatens to tear me apart. I replay every parenting decision, second-guessing myself, wondering if I've damaged them with my imperfections, if my own anxiety is creating anxious children. The weight of shaping human souls feels too heavy for these tired hands, and I'm terrified of failing at the most important job I'll ever have. You know how I watch them sleep and feel both overwhelming love and paralyzing fear, how I want to protect them from every hurt while knowing I can't. The news fills me with dread about the world they're growing up in, and I battle anxiety about school shootings, social media dangers, peer pressure, and 1,000 other threats to their innocence. Tonight, Lord, I need you to guard my children in ways I cannot, to fill the gaps left by my imperfect parenting, to cover our family with protection that anxiety cannot penetrate. The comparison trap makes my anxiety worse, Lord, as I scroll through social media seeing other wives who seem to have it all together. Perfect homes, perfect children, perfect marriages, perfect lives. I know it's not real, that everyone filters their reality, but the images still feed my insecurity and make me feel like I'm failing at this wife thing. My house is messy, my meals less Pinterest-worthy, my patience thinner, my marriage more ordinary than the highlight reels I see online. The anxiety whispers that I should be doing more. More crafts, more date nights, more family devotions, more exercise, more meal prep, more of everything except rest. I feel like I'm constantly behind, constantly catching up, constantly falling short of some impossible standard that no real woman could maintain. Lord, free me from the tyranny of comparison that feeds my anxiety and steals my contentment with the beautiful, messy life you've given me. Help me to see that the other wives struggling with anxiety tonight aren't posting about their sleepless hours, their worried hearts, their feelings of inadequacy. Remind me that we're all fighting battles no one else sees, that perfection is an illusion, that you chose me specifically to be the wife in this family, imperfections and all. My body holds all this anxiety, Lord, the tension headaches, the tight shoulders, the clenched jaw, the churning stomach that won't settle even in the quiet darkness. I feel the physical toll of carrying mental burdens, how anxiety has worn grooves in my body like water wearing down stone, leaving me depleted and aching. Sleep eludes me because my body won't relax, won't release the day's tensions, won't stop preparing for tomorrow's battles that may never come. You designed our bodies to rest, to restore, to heal during sleep, but anxiety robs me of this gift, leaving me to face each new day already exhausted. The cycle continues. Anxiety causes sleeplessness, sleeplessness worsens anxiety, and I'm trapped in this destructive pattern that's aging me beyond my years. I think about how different I look now compared to our wedding photos, how stress has etched lines on my face, how anxiety has dimmed the light in my eyes. Lord, I need you to heal not just my anxious mind but my weary body, to restore what anxiety has stolen, to help me find rest in you. Touch these tense muscles, calm this racing heart, quiet this overactive mind that won't stop cataloging worries and manufacturing new ones from thin air. The loneliness of anxiety at night feels especially heavy, Lord, when the world sleeps peacefully and I'm alone with thoughts that won't stop spiraling into darker territory. I feel isolated in this struggle, wondering if other wives in my community, my church, my friend group battle the same anxious thoughts or if I'm uniquely broken. The shame of anxiety keeps me silent during the day, smiling and saying, I'm fine when asked, but here in the darkness, the truth demands to be acknowledged. I long for authentic connection with other wives who understand this battle, who won't judge my struggles or offer simple solutions to complex problems. But vulnerability feels risky when everyone else appears so put together, so I keep my anxiety hidden like a shameful secret, suffering in silence. Lord, I need you to remind me that I'm not alone, that you're here in this darkness with me, that your presence is more real than these anxious thoughts. Help me find the courage to reach out to other wives, to build genuine community where we can bear each other's burdens without pretense or judgment. Show me that admitting struggle isn't weakness but the beginning of healing, that isolation feeds anxiety while connection starves it. My identity feels lost in all these roles, Lord, wife, mother, daughter, friend, volunteer, until I don't know who I am apart from what I do for others. The anxiety comes from feeling like I'm disappearing, like the woman my husband married has been buried under loads of laundry and lists of responsibilities. I miss the dreams I once had, the passions that made me unique, the interests that had nothing to do with managing a household or raising children. Sometimes I feel guilty for wanting more than this, for feeling unfulfilled when I have so much to be grateful for, and that guilt feeds the anxiety in an endless cycle. You created me as more than just a support system for others, but I've lost sight of my own worth beyond my usefulness to my family. The anxiety whispers that wanting time for myself is selfish, that pursuing personal interests is neglecting my duties, that a good wife sacrifices everything. But Lord, I'm running on empty, pouring out what isn't being replenished, and the anxiety is a warning light that something needs to change. Help me remember that you created me uniquely, that my identity is rooted in being your daughter first, that caring for myself isn't selfish but necessary. Tomorrow looms large in my anxious thoughts. Lord, the meetings, the appointments, the deadlines, the conflicts I need to navigate, the decisions that need to be made. I rehearse conversations that haven't happened, solve problems that don't yet exist, fight battles that may never materialize, all while my body begs for rest. The anxiety about being enough for everyone tomorrow steals tonight's peace, and I'm exhausted from living in the future instead of the present. You tell us not to worry about tomorrow, that each day has enough trouble of its own, but my anxious mind won't stop time traveling to future scenarios. I think about my husband's work stress and how it affects our family, about aging parents who need more help, about friendships that require maintenance I don't have energy for. The plates I'm spinning all feel ready to crash, and the anxiety about dropping any of them keeps me frantically trying to manage everything perfectly. Lord, teach me to live in this moment, to trust you with tomorrow, to release the illusion of control that feeds my anxiety. Help me understand that being a good wife doesn't mean being perfect, that my worth isn't measured in tasks completed or problems solved. For those watching, there's a special ebook in our pinned comment called Don't Think, Trust and Surrender that can help ease anxiety symptoms. Remember, this complements but doesn't replace professional guidance. Many wives struggle with anxiety in silence, but healing begins when we acknowledge our need for help, both divine and practical. This resource has helped thousands of women find peace in the midst of life storms, offering biblical wisdom and practical strategies for anxious hearts. The spiritual battle feels real tonight, Lord, as anxiety tries to convince me that you're distant, that my prayers bounce off the ceiling, that I'm too messy for your love. The enemy uses anxiety to separate me from you, to make me doubt your goodness, to question whether you care about the details of my overwhelmed life. I know in my head that you're faithful, but my anxious heart struggles to feel your presence when worry clouds everything else. The guilt of not having enough faith to overcome anxiety adds another layer to my struggle, making me feel like a spiritual failure on top of everything else. I read about peace that passes understanding, but my understanding seems to block your peace, analyzing and overthinking instead of simply receiving. Lord, break through my anxiety with your truth. Remind me that your love isn't dependent on my performance, that you're not disappointed in my struggle. Help me to stop striving for spiritual perfection and rest in your finished work, to stop earning and start receiving what you freely give. Meet me here in this honest moment where faith and fear collide, where I'm choosing to trust you even while anxiety screams its lies. My marriage needs your touch, Lord, as anxiety creates walls between my husband and me, making me irritable, distant, and hard to love. I snap at him over small things because I'm overwhelmed by big things, taking out my frustration on the person I vowed to cherish above all others. The anxiety makes me hypersensitive to his words, reading criticism where he meant care, feeling attacked when he's trying to help, pushing him away when I need him most. I worry that my anxiety is poisoning our relationship, that he'll grow tired of dealing with my struggles, that our love won't survive this season of stress. You designed marriage to be a partnership, but anxiety makes me feel like a burden, like I'm dragging him down with my worry and fear. I miss the easy laughter we once shared, the spontaneous joy, the ability to be present with each other without the weight of anxiety between us. Lord, heal our marriage from the damage anxiety has caused, restore our connection, help us find our way back to each other through this fog. Show my husband how to love me through anxiety, and show me how to receive that love without suspicion or fear. The fear of failing my family drives so much of my anxiety. Lord, the pressure to create a perfect home, to raise successful children, to be the wife who has it all together. I lie here calculating all the ways I fell short today, all the moments I could have done better, all the opportunities one missed to show love. The anxiety tells me my family would be better off with someone else, someone more patient, more organized, more naturally equipped for this role. But you chose me for this family, placed me in this home, entrusted these precious souls to my imperfect care, and that must mean something. I need you to silence the voice of anxiety that magnifies my failures and minimizes your grace, that keeps score of wrongs and ignores growth. Help me see that my family doesn't need a perfect wife and mother. They need an authentic one who shows them what it looks like to struggle and overcome. Lord, let my battle with anxiety become a testimony to your faithfulness, a teaching tool for my children about facing hard things with faith. Transform this weakness into a place where your strength can shine, where your grace proves sufficient, where your power is perfected. Sleep still eludes me, Lord, but I feel your presence beginning to calm the storm inside, your peace starting to quiet the anxious thoughts that have held me captive. I'm choosing to release each worry into your capable hands. My marriage, my children, my finances, my health, my fears about tomorrow and regrets about yesterday. You're showing me that being an anxious wife doesn't make me a bad wife, that struggling doesn't equal failing, that needing help is human, not weak. The path to healing won't be instant, but tonight I'm taking the first step by admitting I can't do this alone, that I need you, that I need support. Thank you for meeting me in this vulnerable place, for not being shocked by my anxiety, for loving me through the mess and promising to walk with me toward wholeness. I pray for every wife watching who fights similar battles in the darkness, who feels alone in her anxiety, who wonders if peace is possible for someone like her. Let her know she's not alone, that you see her, that her struggles matter, that healing is possible even when it feels impossibly distant. Give us courage to seek help, wisdom to make changes, and grace for the journey ahead. As I finally feel drowsiness approaching, Lord, I want to thank you for this honest conversation, for letting me pour out my anxious heart without pretense or performance. Tomorrow will come with its own challenges, but tonight I'm choosing to rest in your sovereignty, to trust your plan, to believe you're working even in my anxiety. I release the need to be the perfect wife and embrace being the wife you created me to be. Flawed but faithful, anxious but growing, struggling but not giving up. Watch over my family as we sleep. Guard our hearts and minds in Christ Jesus, and help me wake with renewed strength for whatever tomorrow holds. For every wife fighting anxiety tonight, may your peace stand guard over her thoughts. May your love cast out her fears. May your presence be her comfort in the darkness. We're not meant to carry these burdens alone, and admitting that isn't defeat but the beginning of victory over anxiety that has held us captive too long. If this prayer resonated with your heart tonight, please like and share it with another wife who might be struggling in silence. Together, we can break the isolation that feeds anxiety and build a community of wives supporting each other through every season. Knowing that with God's help, peace is possible even in the midst of life storms.